I love waking up to surprises from Nintendo. And this morning we got a fantastic one in the form of Kirby and the Forgotten Land demo dropping on the eShop, letting us take a little look at this game we're all super excited for. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. I've got Gabe joining me virtually via audio. Gabe, are you there?
Yes, don't worry. I'm here, Zach. I found the land. I remembered. It's the remembered land.
Gabe played Forgotten Land, I played Forgotten Land, and it is quite the game. So we're gonna talk all about it. Make sure to let us know if you're excited for Kirby in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoy, and let's roll. All right, I was blown away right from the beginning because the game opens up, cutscene looks nice, and then it's just into gameplay. And that just didn't feel like what you come to expect from Kirby. And so from moment one, they tell you like, okay, we've leveled up. We're doing things different here.
Zach, you were blown away. I was the opposite. I was sucked in. Do you get it?
Oh,
you
man,
get
yeah.
it? God, dude,
the puns just write themselves.
Man, these puns today. I made another one that maybe you'll hear at some point. You won't hear it in this video, guys, but stay tuned. I'm teasing a future pun. It came from me. No, yeah, man, you mentioned those cutscenes. Those are very pretty cutscenes. Probably some of the prettiest cutscenes I've seen on Switch.
Yeah, Nintendo knows how to do that pre-rendered stuff. The game itself, like, yes, it's a Switch game, but it's got so much charm. It's oozing color. It's one of those titles that you just want to see every piece of. And that's been sort of the hallmark to Kirby titles for me. I think back to even, games on the Wii or games on the handhelds, and it's like, I want to see these lands and worlds because they are so pretty, they are so fun, and they're just chock full of like Nintendo. Like, that's how I'm gonna put it. Nintendo just puts so much themselves. It's also apparent right from the beginning, this is Mario 3D World, but with a pink puff.
Oh, yes. Yes. And that was always a speculation since this got announced, but now we have confirmation because we were able to play it, and I'm pretty much all in for that, Zach.
It's also interesting that they give you right from the jump, they're like, do you want to play Elden Ring or do you want to play Kirby? They're like, do you want to play Wild Mode or Spring Breeze Mode? And I really appreciate that they're giving you that option. They want to know if you want to go animal style or if you want to keep it nice and simple. Of course, we both did Wild Mode. They promise a more difficult game and more coins. I mean, there's so many just direct comparisons and analogies to Mario 3D World, right? You're collecting like the hidden Waddle Dees, you got the coins that are going around. The first levels are very easy. There's a lot of power-ups, enemies, interesting things. I thought the landscapes were just really dynamic. The levels themselves, Kirby moves so well through them, right? It's not a slow game, and that is going to help, I think, mitigate some of that, like, okay, wow, this is easy, kind of Kirby starts off maybe for the kids. I'm hoping that the fact that you can get through them quickly does mean like, okay, there is more challenge waiting and it won't be a bore to get there.
I'm really hopeful about that. You mentioned Elden Ring, but it's like such a stark difference to like play Elden Ring.
It is not. We've talked about this. They are very similar. Just wait.
Stop being a tease. No, but it's like really weird. Even the Wild Mode, you guys will be able to handle it. So if you get the game and you maybe didn't check out the demo and you're like, oh man, I'm kind of intimidated by that Wild Mode, don't be. You will be 100% fine. We promise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming Wild Mode is just adding like some extra HP to some of the enemies, maybe making their damage a little bit greater when done to you. I did not come close to dying. They put health power-ups just all over the world. And I do wonder as this game progresses, like, is it all just about exploring and seeing the fun that they've created, or will there be challenge? I will say, we got to play 2 levels and a boss. And the boss gave me hope, because Gabe, he had some moves. Like, he had more moves than I've come to expect from the big tree in Kirby.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, did you use any of the power-ups with the boss? Because I mostly found that, taking in the stars and throwing them right back at him was the easiest way for me, because the power-ups were not very effective against him. Yeah, I mean, he's a big monkey boss, and he's got more moves than DK. He would, he would take over that DK rap and just, wow, he's all you talk about. I did use the ice breath, and I was really impressed with the fact that it affected him directly. I don't know if you had a chance to use the icy weapon, but I did. I was able to freeze him in place. I did not do that though. I froze him in place and then broke the ice for massive damage. Again, this is Elden Ring, right? You get him in a staggered state and boom,
get that status effect on there and massive damage gets affected. No, that was really cool. And it told me like, okay, this game is more than just a simple 3D platformer. You know, oh, it's Kirby, but he's in a bigger space. There's a lot of interactivity, right? Interactability between items, Mouthful Mode, enemies, weapons, and I think that's gonna make it really exciting to see how they build on that. They tease at the end of the demo like a bunch of new stages. In fact, they might tease too much, Gabe. I don't know if you felt that way, but I was like, dude, this is like a modern day movie trailer.
I skipped it. As soon as they started like showing like all that stuff, I'm like, oh man, skip. Like I'll just play this in a few weeks.
Yeah, pro tip, do not watch the trailer at the end of the demo. It's not something, as far as I know, I don't think we've seen a lot of that, and I wish I didn't. Anyhow, no, but like things just work together, right? You know, we got a chance to do a bunch of different Mouthful modes. You get to do vending machine, car, and cone.
Yes.
Those are really cool. I mean, it's effectively just another ability, but it keeps things snappy, right? Like that's what I just felt with this game. Like you were never stuck doing the same thing for too long.
Yeah, I felt that way too because the stages are bigger, yes, but they're not very long. At least not these first few. Hopefully, as the game progresses, they get a little bit deeper. But I felt that these like went by pretty quickly. I don't know how you felt about that, but I do think that, you know, that's the reason this demo exists, to show you these different aspects of each one of the worlds, including the boss. And I like the bananas in the beginning of the boss level, because
his little horde there.
Yeah, because you assume it's a boss level, but you're like, wait, what are these bananas doing here? Because the health items in the game, they are food, but here you have this little pyramid of bananas. It was a nice little tease for what's to come.
Yeah, and I will say, like, if you're not very familiar with Mario 3D World, I'm just assuming you are, because it's maybe the best Mario game of the last decade. Anyways, Bowser's Fury says hello. I guess Mario Odyssey as well. But there's so many optional things you can run through this game. And I bet if you do that, you will not feel anywhere near as satisfied or like you got your money's worth as if you do take it slow. So I highly recommend like taking it slow. And by slow, I guess I don't mean slow because Kirby's not slow, but just like do all that you can, right? There's a lot of explorative elements and there's a lot of things to collect, and that is why Mario 3D World for me became such a joy, is because I did want to 100% it. I did want to collect all the stamps, I did want to collect all the green stars, and I don't know if there's going to be anything that hidden here, but there are like little objectives in the levels. There are the hidden Waddle Dees, and I hope that they put those in more obscure locations, as we saw with 3D World, where like it started off in the beginning, jump to get a green star. But then by the end, there were some game that took me hours to figure out how and where I was going to find the final collectibles.
Yeah, I hope they have something like that too. You mentioned finding the collectibles and going slow. I thought I was going slow at first, but I missed one of those red flowers.
Okay.
And then I was like,
yeah, there's 5 tulips to collect.
Yeah, there's 5 of them. I got 4. I said, where's that first one? And like I told you, I guess I wasn't going as slow as I thought. So I went back and I replayed the level. A cool thing, if you're going to check out the demo for yourself, after you complete them all, it lets you go back in again, but with like leveled up power-ups. It's the same type of power-up, but it's, you know, souped up. So you got to use a stronger version of the sword. It's a bigger sword, you know, back to Elden Ring. You got to use cooler bombs that explode quicker and do more damage. So that was really
linked
nice.
together. Did you see those? You could link them together?
With the little green links. Yes, I used those on the boss, and I did go get that red tulip, Zach, so I felt pretty good about myself.
Good job. Yeah, I think it is hinting at more depth, and I hope this isn't a hype thing that ends up letting us down. But you know, with the fact that you can level up your abilities, that's something we've never seen in a Kirby game before. With the fact that you can move through the maps and there's clearly different worlds, board game style like Mario 3D World, where you can go and go, I'm going to go back to 6-1. I'm going to go all the way to 7-8. I do hope that there's more challenge and more things that are going to take advantage of these systems, including building out that hub world, right? So there is a hub world that you're going to be able to rebuild with your collected Waddle Dees. There's mini games. It seems like there's going to be like boosts and power-ups. They definitely are tantalizing a much bigger package. And if the opening of the game is any indication, like, I think they'll get there.
I think so too, because I was worried, like, because Kirby, it's not traditionally made for 30-year-olds like us. That, you know, I don't think that we're their target audience, but given that we like 3D World so much, and with the trailers, you get the whiff of like, hey, maybe this is more like that. Right. And it didn't get all the way there for me, at least not in these like first few levels, but there's enough of it there that I can safely assume that maybe it will get there towards later levels, I hope.
I hope so as well. And I think it bodes well that they do throw so much at you right from the beginning. Not in terms of difficulty, but like, okay, we said we got to be the car, the vending machine, and the cone. And I hope that means that there's just a lot hidden in this game. A lot of new power-ups, a lot of new mouthful modes. And, maybe, I don't want to say puzzles, but maybe there will be some more interesting ways to utilize Kirby's moveset. Because typically Kirby is like, suck, spit, and fly. And that's kind of about it. It was nifty to see Kirby have a more undulated and unique environment to play around with and to move through. One I'll call out in particular is there's a dragon. You can't access him. You have to climb up a sort of side path, knock down the cone, transform into the cone, and then use that cone to effectively stop the dragon.
That's a dragon for you? That's a turtle for me.
Oh, man, I don't know what kind of turtles they have where you're from, but...
Wait, that was like a turtle.
I think that's a dragon. Vote in the comments down below, turtle or dragon, if you played the Kirby
you're
demo.
talking about the thing where you do
with the concrete
cone
on
its shell. It's a turtle, dude. It has a shell. It's not a dragon. That's a turtle.
Man, that's one vicious turtle then. I thought it was, I'm calling it a dragon. We'll call it a dragon.
Sure, your imagination is crazy, bro.
I was really into it. I wanted to ask you, this demo, Nintendo obviously doesn't do this for every game. A lot of times we've seen them do network tests for multiplayer games, but for their big single player stuff, they usually skip out on the demo. You think this demo helps the game? You think it hurts the game? How do you think this kind of pans out?
Yeah, I think it has to be helpful because, people that have maybe never wanted to try Kirby because, hey, too cute or, too easy, like whatever. Maybe they give this a try and they see that there is some like genuine fun to be had here. It seems like you can even do co-op on the local, of course.
Yeah, you can.
With the demo. So I don't know, maybe a family tries it out, and I don't think there's any way a demo sells less copies.
I guess the only way would be if you were really hoping for something like super challenging. You're like,
no, but who expects that though?
Well, or if you don't believe that it is going to get harder. Like we are kind of like, my enjoyment of this game does bank on the fact that it will at least get somewhat more challenging, that there will at least be some opportunity for me to not do it. You know what I mean? Like not make it through.
You just want From Software to make a Kirby game. That's what you want.
One thing I will say, like on the negative end, is I do kind of not understand how graphically they're not utilizing the same stuff, or at least with the same polish, because Mario 3D World looks crisper than Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Mario Odyssey looks crisper than Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and it still is a pretty charming game, but if I had like one nitpick, it's that I wish they were able to look this as sharp, as juicy.
I couldn't even tell you what looks better than what I feel like we've had so much, especially lately. We've been playing on the next generation consoles, and I wonder if that's like messing with our head a little bit, but I couldn't tell you that Odyssey or 3D World looks sharper than this. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't have that.
I think if you compare New Donk City to what they were doing city-wise here, it just looks a little like there's an extra level of sheen on it, and I don't know, different teams, obviously different stuff.
Demo also.
Yes, demo. Come on, they're gonna do a graphics pass. The game is out in like 3 weeks.
No, they're not gonna do a graphics pass, but you don't know how old this build is. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to be fair to them. Who knows?
They're gonna go mouthful mode with the PS5. That's all Kirby has to do. Suck it in, and we get the graphics upgrade we've been dreaming of. No, I am absolutely buying this game. I'm very hyped and hopeful. I think that if nothing else, like this will be a very enjoyable way to spend, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours. I'm curious how long it is, because 3D World was notorious for like never ending. I kind of want that for Kirby.
You want it to never end?
Well, maybe not never, but I would just like to see it just chock full of content. I don't want this to be a 5 to 6 hour game is what I'm trying to say.
You don't have enough 100-hour experiences in your life right now?
I'm fine with it being like 15, but it was cool that Mario, like another world, another level, you beat the final boss and there was more to it. And a lot of, I think, the best stuff, the most creative stuff came from, hey, you beat the game, we've done our due diligence for the majority of the players, now for you hardcore, like, here's another one, here's another one. And I'd love to see something, like there's not gonna be a Champions Road for Kirby, but I'd love to see like something comparable or just around that idea where it's like, oh, this is Kirby on wild mode, like actually wild mode.
You want a more extreme mode than wild mode.
I do. I want you to unlock, extra spicy Mouthful
Speaking of unlocking, I know we're getting towards the end here. We're going a little long, but you unlock codes to use with the full release to give you extra items. Like, that was cool.
There's a lot here. It definitely is the most fleshed out, biggest Kirby game. I think if you're a fan of Kirby, if you're a fan of Mario, if you're looking for something that kind of continues that lineage, this is it. And I'm really excited to see how it pans out. I was nervous when the beginning started so easy, but again, it's got so much charm. Kirby moves with speed and ease and has a great move set. There's just so much creativity. I think I don't know that this is gonna be like game of the year. I definitely don't think it will.
No way.
But I think it will be another feather in the cap of Nintendo's 2022 that just continues to be more and more impressive with every passing week and month. So it's Mario 3D World Lite. It's fantastic. Give it a download if you haven't already, or hey, just save it for the full game because I think this is going to be an easy recommendation.
Save it. You guys should save it. Seriously.
Save it. That's the recommendation from Gabe. Thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Gabe. Good to have you on the video. And everybody else, thanks for joining us as well. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, everybody, SwitchForce out.